Have you ever wondered what your intimate area is silently telling you about your whole body health every morning? After 60, we begin to monitor our hearts, joints, blood pressure. But there's one vital area that's often forgotten, a place tied to deep emotions, old memories, and also the first to signal silent changes in our body. I used to think, I'm older now, there's no need to worry about that anymore. Until one day, a doctor gently said to me, if you had paid attention just a little earlier, things could have been much easier. That sentence struck me, so I began taking a few minutes every morning, not to put on makeup, but to gently listen to and understand my body. In this video, I'll share 7 small morning habits that can help us feel healthier, more confident, and most importantly, take natural, shame-free care of our intimate area. One thing I've realized, caring for your intimate area isn't something shameful, it's self-respect. And if you've never considered this before, maybe now's the time to start. I invite you to listen, and if anything isn't clear, don't hesitate to share in the comments. You still have so much value, and your body, it's still waiting for you to listen. There's something most of us don't even think about in the morning, looking at ourselves, literally. After 60, I thought, my body's old now, and that inspecting my body was something for the younger generation. But during a routine checkup, the doctor asked me, have you looked at your intimate area each morning? Any redness, itching, or unusual patches? I was stunned. Honestly, I'd never even thought that area needed to be seen. From that day, I started a new habit. Each morning, even before brushing my teeth or brewing tea, I sat down and gently observed my intimate area. Not to judge, not out of fear, just to listen. And you know what? This kind of gaze isn't curiosity, it's care. It's my way of saying to my body, I'm still here. I still care about you. At first, it felt strange, even a little embarrassing. We grow up in a culture that doesn't encourage women to speak, let alone look, at their own intimate areas. But day by day, I began noticing something profound in this small habit. I started seeing changes I had ignored before, a strange white spot, a dry patch, or irritation from trying a new soap. I realized our body is always talking to us. We've just ignored it for too long. One of my friends, 67 years old, once saw a tiny white patch under bright light. She hadn't planned to tell anyone, but when she mentioned it during her checkup, the doctor diagnosed a precancerous condition early on. Luckily, because of that early detection, the treatment was simple, non-invasive, and completely successful. Without that daily look, things could have gone very differently. So, I've learned, checking your intimate area in the morning is not weird. It's like checking your face for pimples or seeing if your nails are chipped. It's a natural act of someone who truly loves themselves. And if we love ourselves enough, we won't wait for our body to scream in pain before we listen. How about you? Have you ever tried spending 30 seconds each morning to look at that private part, not to criticize, but to appreciate? If not, try it. And if this still feels unfamiliar, don't hesitate to share with me in the comments. We're all learning to care for ourselves better. None of us walks this path alone. I used to have a habit that lasted decades, waking up and rushing to the bathroom. That urge to pee after a long night was so familiar, like an automatic reflex. Until one day, in a chat with a geriatric doctor who had worked with thousands of women over 60, she looked at me and said, try drinking a glass of water before going to the bathroom every morning. You'll see something magical. I laughed. Drink water when I'm desperate to pee? But I've learned that sometimes going against old habits holds the key. So I tried it, kept a warm glass of water by the bed, and took small sips right after waking up. It felt strange at first, but within days my body started feeling lighter. My bladder wasn't so frantic, and my intimate area no longer burned during urination. When I heard the doctor explain it, I finally understood. After a long night's sleep, our body is like a dried-up engine. The blood is thicker, the kidneys struggle, and the pelvic region, with so many delicate organs like the bladder, uterus, and vagina, falls into mild dehydration. That first glass of water wakes everything up. It thins the blood, kickstarts the kidneys, and most importantly, sends warmth and moisture back to the intimate area, the one part so often forgotten in old age. I used to think dryness, urgency, or frequent night urination were normal parts of aging, but many of these stem from letting our body function in a dried-up state for too long, and this small act, drinking water before peeing, is the first step in caring for ourselves. An old friend from my meditation group said, "I only tried it because the doctor said so. I didn't expect to feel so much better just weeks later. No meds needed." She laughed. "Now I can't start the day without that glass." Come to think of it, she was right. Our body is like a garden, and water is its stream of life. Without water, flowers won't bloom, soil becomes hard, and our intimate area, already fragile with time, needs water more than ever to stay flexible, healthy, and at ease. Try it. You don't need a full bottle, just a small glass. No need to change your entire lifestyle. Just take that first step, and if it feels strange, let me know in the comments. I believe it's these little things that keep vitality alive in old age. Sometimes loving yourself is just a matter of drinking the right glass of water at the right time. I used to think morning exercise was for young people, for those who still worked, who were full of energy. As a woman over 60, I felt grateful just to get up without pain. But then one morning, I woke up with a strange sensation in my lower abdomen. Not pain, just a dull heaviness. And I began to wonder, what is my body trying to say? During a health consultation, a doctor introduced me to something she called waking up the pelvic floor. It sounded odd at first, but once I understood, it felt like the most loving gesture to my body. The doctor said, the pelvic floor is the foundation of a woman's body. When we lie in bed all night, blood doesn't circulate well there. The muscles fall asleep. So before you do anything else, give your pelvic floor a gentle wake-up. From that day, I started a 60-second morning habit. No need for yoga mats or workout gear. I just sat at the edge of the bed, took deep breaths, and gently tilted my pelvis forward and back. It felt like I was stirring something awake inside. Then I lightly squeezed my pelvic floor muscles, what young people call the Kegel exercise. At first, I didn't feel much, but within a week, I noticed real changes. Easier urination, less urgency in the morning, and, most surprisingly, an uplifted mood. You see, when you begin your day with presence, not rushing, not distracted, the entire day seems to reprogram itself. Activating the pelvic floor gets blood flowing to the intimate area again, reawakens the nerves and hormones down there, which often decline silently with age. It's not just physical, it's about trust. Trusting that your body still works, still needs care, still wants to come back to life. I have an older friend, 5 years my senior. She used to joke, "I can't do yoga anymore. My joints creak like old doors." But when I shared this 60-second practice, she tried it. A week later, she called me, voice trembling. "I didn't think I could still feel anything there. I thought it had forgotten me." I laughed and cried with her. So, if you're reading this and thinking, "I'm too old to exercise," I ask you to reconsider. As long as you breathe, as long as you can feel the rhythm of life each morning, your body still deserves to be cherished. Try sitting quietly for 60 seconds tomorrow morning, not to achieve anything grand, but just to say to your body, I'm still here with you. And if you do, tell me in the comments how it feels. Sometimes one tiny movement is the beginning of something powerful. I used to think the feeling of my intimate area each morning didn't matter, that I no longer had the passions or intimacy to justify caring down there. But neglecting it made me miss the most important signs my body was sending. Not until the doctor asked me, do you feel more dryness in your intimate area, anything different than before, did I realize. The thing is, when we get used to changes, we stop noticing what we're slowly losing. I began paying attention, not out of worry, but out of care. Every morning I spent a few silent seconds tuning into that area. Was it dry, comfortably moist, irritated, tense? And what I found wasn't just physical change, it was a reconnection with myself. What I once thought was old and useless turned out to be a clear gauge of my health. Whether hormones were balanced, whether pelvic nerves were functioning, whether my body was raising a flag. I remember a friend, a few years older than me, confiding, I thought dryness was just aging. Turned out it was a sign of mild chronic inflammation. Because she caught it early, a few small lifestyle changes made a huge difference. From that, I learned. The intimate area doesn't speak in words, but it has a language, a little itch, a faint burn, or even feeling nothing at all. These are all ways our body whispers, I need you. Listening to the intimate area isn't about worry, it's about peace of mind. Like hearing a creak in the house, not because we're afraid, but because we care about the home we love. Our body is the same, and this area especially, the one that once gave life, pleasure, trust, is more than worthy of our care. You don't need a journal or intense analysis. Just a few seconds every morning to ask, how do I feel today? Dry? Irritated? Normal? Everything has a reason, and this gentle listening helps you stop feeling passive in aging and start living each day with intention. If you've never tried this, start tomorrow morning. No pressure, no tension, just relax and feel. And if you notice anything strange or feel unsure, share it with me. Leave a comment, not to boast, but to remind each other that even in old age, there's still so much to discover. And listening to your body may be the deepest way to love yourself. I used to be extremely meticulous about cleanliness, especially after turning 60. I felt I had to keep my intimate area extra clean, afraid of odor, infection, and everything else. Every morning I scrubbed with fragrant soap, washed vigorously, sometimes even with hot water, thinking it would disinfect. I used to be proud of my cleanliness until that very habit left me itchy, dry, and uncomfortable for weeks. I went to the doctor, and she simply asked, how do you clean yourself each day? After I explained, she shook her head gently. You're not wrong to want to stay clean, but cleanliness isn't the same as stripping everything away. The intimate area isn't like your hands or feet. It has its own ecosystem, its own oils, and helpful bacteria. You've unknowingly destroyed its natural barrier. I was stunned. No one had ever taught me that. From that day, I changed. Each morning, I now use only warm water, no soap, no scrubbing. If needed, I use unscented, gentle soap only around the external area, the skin surrounding the vulva. No more harsh rubbing or rushing. I slow down. I'm gentler. And I noticed the irritation faded, the dryness eased, and most importantly, I stopped fearing my own hygiene routine. I shared this with a few friends, and they were just as surprised as I had been. One laughed, who'd have thought the cleaner you scrub, the more damage you cause? But it's true. Many women suffer from itching, burning, or even unexplained infections. without realizing their daily soap might be the culprit. Caring for your intimate area isn't like scrubbing a kitchen. It's like tending a delicate garden. A garden needs watering, protection from pests. But if you spray chemicals or fertilize too harshly, the plants will die. The intimate area is the same. It just needs tenderness and respect. It's the place tied to so many memories, from childbirth to passion to the quiet years of aging. If you were like me thinking, the more I wash, the cleaner I am, then I invite you to be gentler. Change your soap. Use warm, not hot, water. Don't scrub. Don't force. And if you still feel unsure, leave a comment. I'll share more with you because I believe every woman deserves to feel comfortable, at ease, and safe in her own body. And that begins with how we touch ourselves each morning. I used to have a seemingly harmless habit. White toast with sweet jam, or sometimes instant noodles for breakfast. I ate quickly, sipped tea, and read the news. I felt full, so I didn't think much more, until one day I complained to my doctor, "Lately, my intimate area feels itchy, dry, uncomfortable." I thought it was just aging. She didn't deny that, but asked instead, "What do you eat for breakfast?" I was stunned. I never thought breakfast could affect that part of me. She gently explained, "Your intimate area doesn't just need external care. It needs to be nourished from within. What you eat affects your hormones, vaginal pH, mucosal immunity, and your healthy bacteria." That explanation opened my eyes. From then on, I started changing small things in my breakfast. I began with plain yogurt, added flax seeds, some blueberries, sometimes a boiled egg, half an avocado, or whole grain toast. At first it tasted bland, but within weeks my body responded. Less dryness, no burning when I urinated, and my skin even looked brighter. I felt, even if it was just a feeling, like my body was more comfortable from the inside out. You see, the intimate area is extremely sensitive. After 60, estrogen drops, vaginal tissues thin, dryness increases, infection risks rise. If we keep consuming too much sugar, white starches, and fried foods, it disrupts hormones, boosts yeast infections, and weakens vaginal flora. But the right foods like yogurt, full of probiotics, flaxseed, rich in phytoestrogens, berries, anti-inflammatory, and eggs, good fats, can restore balance naturally. One friend, 68, once said, "I thought breakfast was just to fill my stomach. Who knew changing it could change that too?" She laughed, her eyes sparkling. "I don't remember everything the doctor said, but I know this. My body feels grateful." So, if your breakfast still looks like it did years ago, too sweet, too starchy, lacking nutrients, try tweaking it a little. Nothing fancy. Just start with plain yogurt, some walnuts, or dark rye toast. And most importantly, eat like someone who loves her body, not just to feel full. I used to do what many do: finish breakfast and sit still, read the paper, scroll online, or simply sit. After a long night, I figured a calm morning was healthy. But over time, I started feeling sluggish. Not tired, but heavy in the lower belly, sometimes pressure in the pelvis, and urinating felt harder. I blamed age until a doctor told me your intimate area can't handle prolonged sitting, especially after breakfast. That's when I learned something most people overlook. Sitting too long after breakfast, especially past 60, slows blood flow to the pelvic region. It puts pressure on the pelvic floor, weakens its muscles, and leads to tension, incontinence, or even light leakage. Things many women silently endure without knowing why. So I changed. No running or gym time, just stood up after eating, walked around the house, watered plants, fetched the mail, strolled from room to room, not fast, not tiring, just enough to get blood moving. Amazingly, within days, my pelvis felt alive again, lighter, no discomfort after sitting, and my mind felt sharper too. A friend from meditation said, I set a timer for 15 minutes after eating, just to remind myself to move. It's helped ease bloating and made going to the bathroom much easier. So simple, yet so effective. We grew up thinking sitting is rest. But for aging bodies, true rest isn't stillness. It's listening, letting circulation return, especially to the intimate area, already sensitive after years of change, now even more vulnerable to inactivity. Dear friend, if you've listened this far, thank you. Not just for watching this video, but for choosing to care for yourself in a gentle, respectful way. These 7 morning habits may seem small or ordinary, but if you practice them patiently, they can combine into a miracle for your health, your spirit, and that quiet confidence every aging woman deserves to keep for herself. We often say intimate area, as if it's something to hide or be ashamed of. But it's more than just a body part. It holds the memory of puberty, childbirth, first love, and silent pains only we know. So caring for it each day isn't fear of disease. It's claiming the right to feel comfortable, healthy, and whole. I understand. Some habits might feel strange. Some need time. But if you're hesitating, let me remind you, it's never too late to start loving yourself again, even from the quietest places. And no one will laugh when you begin. In this community, we're all learning, healing, and living with more meaning every day. If this video has touched you, please leave a comment. Tell me what resonated with you, what habit you want to try tomorrow, or simply let me know you're here. Don't be shy. Your story might just inspire someone else to reclaim themselves, too. And if you find value in what I share, please subscribe so we can meet again and again in these warm, gentle, real conversations. I only hope to walk with you each morning we wake up, each moment you choose to love yourself more. See you in the next video. And remember, no matter your age, you still hold your full worth, and your body still deserves to be heard, cared for, and deeply loved. You are still whole. You are still worthy. You are still alive. Your body still blooms when you listen.